What's up, average viewers? Thor: Love and Thunder hit theaters this weekend. Does it live up to Ragnarok, or, like Taika Waititi, is this franchise going down under? For more horrible puns to start off movie reviews by the average guy for the average person, then click that subscribe button. In the meantime, let's jump into my Thor: Love and Thunder review. Alright, I know this is what you're all curious about. Is it better than Ragnarok? The short answer is no, it isn't. But is it at least a fun movie with entertaining action and funny jokes? Sometimes. I was talking with someone before seeing this movie and they said, I'm simple to please when it comes to action movies, just have dope stuff happen and I'm pretty much entertained. So I went into this with that mindset, and even still, I wasn't completely satisfied. In fact, it's been a day since I watched this and I realized that none of the action scenes were really memorable or stuck with me. I think part of this is Top Gun helped me and audiences realize that you can't beat the feeling of exhilaration when it comes to practical effects filmmaking and real stunts and shots. So much of the action was fighting CGI monsters, which I get you have to do in a superhero movie. It's just sometimes the CGI in this movie can look a little cartoonish and visually sloppy. Now, listen, Taika Waititi has gone on record to say that he wanted to give us a different Thor, one that plays into the rom-com genre and has fun with it. So how does this movie fare if we look at it from that perspective? Well, this movie is definitely funny, sometimes. Again, like Ragnarok, there are a lot of funny moments that really land, but there were almost an equal amount that completely missed and were straight up cringe. Some have described it as corny. The humor plays to this movie's detriment because if you ask me, all the best parts of this movie were times when it was dead serious, like the intro, the ending, that scene in black and white, if you know, you know. Really, it just felt like two different movies. Christian Bale was in one movie and Thor was in another, and I was much more intrigued by Christian Bale's movie. He did so good. He was scary and intimidating. He was horrifying to watch. You couldn't take your eyes off him. His craziness and declining sanity was really believable. His shadow stuff was scary, and I had this thought that what if Love and Thunder was the horror movie instead of Multiverse of Madness? This movie as the horror movie would really have developed the stakes in emotional weight, and it would have felt much more natural than forcing Wanda to be horrific, because the God Butcher was already scary. Just something to think about. Look, a lot of people are going to really like this movie because it leans into the Ragnarok feel and tone, but that's the issue, is just how much this movie varies from person to person. My dad thought it was really long, almost 3 hours, while I thought it wasn't long enough to really develop and flesh out the romance and other story elements. I just don't know if I can say it's a good movie when every other scene I like and then I don't like. A good movie to me is when you're on board with every scene and it serves its purpose. I also just want to point out just how similar this movie is to Ragnarok, but exaggerated and didn't quite recreate the same electricity. It's like Marvel went, okay, what did people like from Ragnarok? Korg? Okay, put him in way too much. They liked that play theater scene? Okay, do that again. Thor being kind of dumb and clumsy? Yes. An eccentric, quirky, villainous leader? Do that again, but make it Russell Crowe in a weird interpretation in a scene that lasts way too long. Anyway, you probably get my point. Also, it may have just been my theater, but it was oddly quiet. Like, there was no cheering or belly laughter. And when we walked out, no one was talking about the movie. It's like nobody knew what to say because it just wasn't quite what they wanted, but it's not a bad movie either. So in conclusion, you guys, Thor: Love and Thunder will again divide the fan base. Be respectful to others when you talk about it. I, for one, can totally see why people would love this movie. It's a fun, funny, enjoyable movie with a compelling villain and love story, but I can also totally see why you might think the characters were more punchlines than characters, and the comedy is too corny and it was a visual mess, derivative, and lesser than Ragnarok. I, for one, didn't vibe much with this movie. I didn't connect to it or feel much from it. I rolled my eyes more than I laughed, and I don't think I'm rushing to see this movie again anytime soon. But I think you should go and see for yourself whether you'll enjoy this or not, and that's why I'm giving Thor a go see it in theaters, but only once. Alright, you guys, let me know in the comments down below what side of this movie you are on, or are you in the middle? If you love Korg, then click that subscribe bell and that like, and I will personally let him know. As always, stay in, thanks for watching, and the rest of you, stay average.